Okay, so looking at question 14. Question 14 is actually quite a nasty one, isn't it? Because we've actually got to work our way backwards to what hx was equal to. So it's actually the opposite to what we've been told in the previous two questions. In the previous two questions, we were told what hx was equal to, and then we had to find another expression based on this. Well, unfortunately, because we've got to go backwards, there's another way of doing it. So let's see one way of doing it. Now, I would say that if I was going from hx to here, here's the steps that I would take. There's been a dilation of factor 1/2 from the x-axis. The minus means there's been a reflection in the x-axis. The +2 means there's been a translation of 2 units in the negative x direction. And then the +1 means there's been a translation of 1 unit in the positive y direction. Now, because we're not talking about going from hx to there, and we are talking about going from there to there, the way to get back along this track here is to follow the opposite steps in the opposite order. So I'm just going to change colour here if I can. The opposite steps are going to be translation of 1 unit in the negative y direction. It's going to be a translation 2 units in the positive x direction. It's going to be still a reflection in the x-axis. However, the dilation, instead of that being half, is going to be 2. So we have dilation factor 2 from the x-axis. Okay, so let's consider what's actually going to happen here. Because we're doing our translations first, we're going to build it up like this. X, Y, we're using the mapping method here, is going to map onto, well, translation of 1 unit in the negative y direction would have been y minus 1. Translation of 2 units in the positive x direction would have been x plus 2. Now we're going to consider those reflections and dilations. Reflection in the x-axis means we're going to put a minus in front of whatever we had for y. So let's do that, x plus 2, and we're going to put a minus in front of that, y minus 1. And then finally we've got this dilation of factor 2 from the x-axis, so that means we're going to need to put a 2 in front of that one. So this maps onto x plus 2 minus 2 times y minus 1. Okay, let's pause there and have a little think. It might not look like it, but we're a lot closer than we were. So what we can say here is x dash is equal to x plus 2, and we can say that y dash is equal to negative 2 times y minus 1. Now remember, if we want to try and find the image, and this is going to be our image, remember, we need to rearrange this so the x is on its own. So here we get x is equal to x dash minus 2. Here, we've got to do a bit of work, y dash over negative 2. Gets rid of that minus 2 that was there. And now we have to add 1, and that's what y was equal to. Well, we now substitute in. So our original equation was, and let that be y is equal to minus x cubed over 2 minus 3x squared minus 6x minus half. And when we sub in, the y gets replaced with y dash over negative 2 plus 1. All the x's are going to be replaced with x dash minus 2. So it's minus outside of x dash minus 2 cubed all over 2. Minus 3 times x dash minus 2 all squared. Minus 6 times x dash minus 2 minus a half. From here, it's a matter of minusing 1 from both sides. Then when we minus 1 from here, that's going to make that minus 3 over 2. And then we're going to need to multiply everything by negative 2. So when we multiply everything by negative 2, this is going to change to a plus 2. The 2's are going to cancel. This is going to change to a plus 6. This is going to change to plus 12. This is going to change to plus 3 because the 2's are going to cancel. Let's just write that out because it's looking pretty darn messy, isn't it? So we're going to have y is equal to, those 2's had cancelled out, and I'm just getting rid of those dashes for the minute, x minus 2 cubed plus 6 times x minus 2 squared plus 12 times x minus 2 plus 3. Now, if you had some type of death wedge, what you would then want to do is expand that bracket, and that bracket, and collect all the terms together. However, I say to you, this is already correct. We don't need to go any further. Okay, wow, that turned out to take a long time, didn't it? 6 minutes, wow.